Madonna Louise Ciccone, born August 16, 1958, is an American singer, songwriter, and actress. Regarded as the queen of pop, she has been recognized for her continual reinvention and versatility in music production, songwriting, and visual presentation. Madonna's works, which incorporate social, political, sexual, and religious themes, have generated both controversy and critical acclaim. A cultural icon spanning both the 20th and 21st centuries, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame called her one of the most well-documented figures of the modern age. In 2008, various scholarly reviews, literature, and artworks have been created about her, along with an academic mini-subdiscipline devoted to her called Madonna Studies. Madonna moved to New York City in 1978 to pursue a career in dance. After performing as a drummer, guitarist, and vocalist in the rock band's Breakfast Club, an Emmy, she rose to solo stardom with her 1983 eponymous debut studio album. Madonna followed it with a series of successful albums, including all-time bestsellers like A Virgin 1984, True Blue 1986, An Immaculate Collection 1990, the critically acclaimed Like a Prayer 1989, as well as Grammy Award winners Ray of Light 1998, and Confessions on a Dance Floor 2. She has amassed a catalog of various high-charting songs, including Holiday, Like a Virgin, La Isla Bonita, Like a Prayer, Vogue, Take a Bow, Frozen, Music, Hung Up in 4 Minutes. Madonna's popularity was enhanced by roles in films such as Desperately Seeking Susan 1985, Dick Tracy 1990, A League of Their Own 1990-92, and Evita 1996. While the lattermost won her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, many of her other films were not as well received. As a businesswoman, she founded the company Maverick in 1992, which included Maverick Records, one of the most successful artist-run labels in history. Madonna's other ventures include fashion brands, written works, health clubs, and filmmaking. She contributes to various charities, having founded the Ray of Light Foundation in 1998 and Raising Malawi in 2006, and advocates for gender equality and LGBT rights. With sales of over 300 million records worldwide, Madonna is the best-selling female recording artist of all time. She is the most successful solo artist in the history of the US Billboard Hot 100 chart and has achieved 44 #1 singles in between major global music markets. She became the first ever woman to accumulate us $1 billion in concert revenue, with 6 of her solo headlining tours having grossed over us $100 million each. Forbes has named her the world's highest paid female musician a record 11 times across 4 separate decades, 1980s to 2010s. Madonna was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2008, her first year of eligibility. She was ranked as the greatest woman in music by VH1, and as the greatest music video artist ever by MTV and Billboard. She was also listed among Rolling Stone's greatest artists and greatest songwriters of all time. Madonna Louise Ciccone was born in Bay City, Michigan on August 16, 1958, to Catholic parents Madonna Louise Nee Fortin and Silvio Anthony Tony Ciccone. Her father's parents were Italian immigrants from Pacentro, while her mother was of French-Canadian descent. Tony Ciccone worked as an optics engineer for Chrysler Defense and its successor, General Dynamics Land Systems, on military projects. Since Madonna had the same name as her mother, family members called her Little Nani. Her mother died of breast cancer on December 1st, 1963. Madonna adopted Veronica as a confirmation name when getting confirmed in the Catholic Church in 1966. She was raised in the Detroit suburbs of Pontiac in Avon Township, now Rochester Hills, alongside her 2 older brothers Anthony and Martin and 3 younger siblings Paula, Christopher, and Melanie. In 1966, Tony married the family's housekeeper Joan Gustafson. They remained married for 58 years until Joan's death in 2024. They had 2 children, Jennifer and Mario. Madonna resented her father for getting remarried and began to rebel against him, which strained their relationship for many years afterward. Madonna attended St. Frederick's and St. Andrew's Catholic elementary schools and West Middle School. She was known for her high grade point average GPA and achieved notoriety for her unconventional behavior. Madonna would perform cartwheels and handstands in the hallways between classes, dangle by her knees from the monkey bars during recess, and pull up her set during recess, pull up her skirt during class all so that the boys could see her underwear. She later admitted to seeing herself in her youth as a lonely girl who was searching for something. I wasn't rebellious in a certain way. I cared about being good at something. I didn't shave my underarms or legs, and I didn't wear makeup like normal girls do. But I studied and I got good grades. I wanted to be somebody. Madonna's father put her in classical piano lessons, but she later convinced him to allow her to take ballet lessons. Christopher Flynn, her ballet teacher, persuaded her to pursue a career in dance. Madonna later attended Rochester Adams High School and became a straight-A student as well as a member of its cheerleading squad. After graduating in January 1976, she received a dance scholarship to the University of Michigan and studied over the summer at the American Dance Festivalship to the in Durham, North Carolina. In 1978, Madonna dropped out of college and relocated to New York City. She said of her move to New York, "It was the first time I'd ever taken a plane. The first time I'd ever gotten a taxi cab. I came here with $35 in my pocket. It was the bravest thing I'd ever done." Madonna soon found an apartment in the Alphabet City neighborhood of the East Village and had little money while working as a hat check girl for the Russian Tea Room, an air operator at Terrace on the Park, and with modern dance troupes taking classes at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and eventually performing with Pearl Lang Dance Theater. She also studied dance under the tutelage of the noted American dancer and choreographer Martha Graham. Madonna started to work as a backup dancer for other established artists. One night, while returning from a rehearsal, a pair of men held her at knife point and forced her to perform fellatio. She later found the incident to be a taste of my weakness. It showed me that I still could not save myself in spite of all the strong girl show. I could never forget it. In 1979, Madonna became romantically involved with musician Dan Gorey. Shortly after meeting him, she successfully auditioned to perform in Paris with French disco artist Patrick Hernandez as his backup singer and dancer. During her 3 months with Hernandez's troupe, she also traveled to Tunisia before returning to New York in August 1979. Madonna moved into an abandoned synagogue where Gilroy lived and rehearsed in Corona, Queens. Together, they formed her first band, The Breakfast Club, for which Madonna sang and played drums and guitar. While with the band, Madonna briefly worked as a hat check girl at the Russian Tea Room, and she made her acting debut in the low-budget indie film A Certain Sacrifice, which was not released until 1985. In 1980, Madonna left The Breakfast Club with drummer Stephen Bray, who was her boyfriend in Michigan, and they formed the band Emmy and the Emmys. They rekindled their romance and moved into the music building in Manhattan. The two began writing songs together, and they recorded a 4-song demo tape in November 1980. But soon after, Madonna decided to promote herself as a solo artist. In March 1981, Camille Barbone, who ran Gotham Records in the music building, signed Madonna to a contract with Gotham and worked as her manager until February 1982. Madonna frequented nightclubs to get disc jockeys to play her demo. DJ Mark Commons at Dance Area took an interest in her music, and they began dating. Commons arranged a meeting with Madonna and Seymour Stein, the president of Sire Records, a subsidiary of Warner Bros. Records. Madonna signed a deal for a total of 3 singles, with an option for an album. Commons produced her debut single, Everybody, which was released in October 1982. In December 1982, Madonna performed the song Live for the first time at Danceteria. She made her first television appearance performing Everybody on Dance and On Air in January 1983, although it had actually been filmed a month prior. In February 1983, she promoted the single with nightclub performances in the United Kingdom. Her second single, The double A-side, Burning Up Physical Attraction, was released in March 1983. Both this single and Everybody reached number 3 on Billboard magazine's Hot Dance Club Songs chart. Burning Up Physical Attraction also charted at number 13 in Australia. During this period, Madonna was in a relationship with artist Jean-Michel Basquiat and living at his loft in Soho. Basquiat introduced her to art curator Diego Cortez, who had managed some punk bands and co-founded the Mud Club. Madonna invited Cortez to be her manager, but he declined. Following the success of the singles, Warner hired Reggie Lucas to produce her debut album, Madonna. However, Madonna was dissatisfied with the completed tracks and disagreed with Lucas' production techniques, so she decided to seek additional help. She asked John Jellybean Benitez, the resident DJ at Funhouse, to help finish the album's production, and a romance ensued. Benitez remixed most of the tracks and produced Holiday, which was her first international top 10 song. The album was released in July 1983 and peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 200. It yielded 2 top 10 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, Borderline and Lucky Star. In late 1983, Madonna's new manager, Freddie DeMann, secured a meeting for her with film producer John Peters, who asked her to play the part of a club singer in the romantic drama Vision Quest. In January 1984, Madonna gained more exposure by performing on American Bandstand and Top of the Pops. Her image, performances, and music videos influenced many young girls and women. Madonna's style became one of the female fashion trends of the 1980s. Created by stylist and jewelry designer Maripol, the look consisted of lace tops, skirts over capri pants, fishnet stockings, jewelry bearing the crucifix, bracelets, and bleached hair. Madonna's popularity continued to rise globally with the release of her second studio album, Like a Virgin, in November 1984. It became her first #1 album in Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Spain, the UK, and the US. Like a Virgin became the first album by a female to sell over 5 million copies in the US. It was later certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, and has sold over 21 million copies worldwide. The album's title track served as its first single, and topped the Hot 100 chart for 6 consecutive weeks. It attracted the attention of conservative organizations who complained that the song and its accompanying video promoted premarital sex and undermined family values. And moralists sought to have the song and video banned. Madonna received huge media coverage for her performance of Like a Virgin at the first 1984 MTV Video Music Awards. Wearing a wedding dress and white gloves, Madonna appeared on stage atop a giant wedding cake, and then rolled around suggestively on the floor. MTV retrospectively considered it one of the most iconic pop performances of all time. The second single, Material Girl, reached #2 on the Hot 100. While filming the single's music video, Madonna started dating actor Sean Penn. They married on her birthday in 1985. Madonna entered mainstream films in February 1985, beginning with her cameo in Vision Quest. The soundtrack contained 2 new singles, her US #1 single, Crazy for You, and another track, Gambler. She also played the title role in the 1985 comedy Desperately Seeking Susan, a film which introduced the song Into the Groove, her first #1 single in the UK. Her popularity caused the film to be perceived as a Madonna vehicle, despite how she was not billed as a lead actress. The New York Times film critic Vincent Canby memed it one of the 10 best films of 1985. Beginning in April 1985, Madonna embarked on her first concert tour in North America, the Virgin Tour, with the Beastie Boys as her opening act. The tour saw the peak of Madonna wannabe phenomenon, with many female attendees dressing like her. At that time, she released 2 more songs, Angel and Dress You Up, making all 4 singles from the album peak inside the top 5 on the Hot 100 chart. Angel also topped the Australian charts. In July, Penthouse and Playboy magazines published a number of nude photos of Madonna, taken when she moonlighted as an art model in 1978. She had posed for the photographs because she needed money at the time, and was paid as little as $25 a session. The publication of the photos caused a media uproar, but Madonna remained unapologetic and defiant. The photographs were ultimately sold for up to $100,000. She referred to these events at the 1985 outdoor Live Aid charity concert, saying that she would not take her jacket off because the media might hold it against me 10 years from now. In June 1986, Madonna released her third studio album, True Blue, which was inspired by and dedicated to her husband Penn. Rolling Stone was impressed with the effort, writing that the album sound as if it comes from the heart. 5 singles were released: Live to Tell, Papa Don't Preach, True Blue, Open Your Heart, and La Isla Bonita, all of which reached #1 in the US or the UK. The album topped the charts in 28 countries worldwide, an unprecedented achievement at the time, and remains Madonna's best-selling studio album, with sales of 25 million copies. True Blue was featured in the 1992 edition of Guinness World Records as the best-selling album by a woman of all time. Madonna starred in the critically panned film Shanghai Surprise in 1986, for which she received her first Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress. She made her theatrical debut in a production of David Rabe's Goose and Tom Tom the Film, and played both co-starred Penn. The next year, Madonna was featured in the film Who's That Girl? She contributed 4 songs to its soundtrack, including the title track and Causing a Commotion. Madonna embarked on the Who's That Girl World Tour in June 1987, which continued until September. It broke several attendance records, including over 130,000 people in a show near Paris, which was then a record for the highest attended female concert of all time. Later that year, she released a remix album of past hits, You Can Dance, which reached #14 on the Billboard 200. After a tumultuous 2-year marriage, Madonna filed for divorce from Penn on December 4th, 1987, but withdrew the petition a few weeks later. She made her Broadway debut in the production of Speed the Plow at the Royale Theatre from May to August 1988. According to the Associated Press, Madonna filed an assault report against Penn after an alleged incident at their Malibu home during the New Year's weekend. Madonna filed for divorce on January 5th, 1989, and the following week she reportedly asked that no criminal charges be pressed. In January 1989, Madonna signed an endorsement deal with soft drink manufacturer Pepsi. One Pepsi commercial, she debuted Like a Prayer, the lead single and title track from her 4th studio album. The music video featured Catholic symbols such as stigmata and cross burning and a dream of making love to a saint, leading the Vatican to condemn the video. Religious groups sought to ban the commercial and boycott Pepsi products. Pepsi revoked the commercial and canceled her sponsorship contract. Like a Prayer topped the charts in many countries, becoming her 7th #1 on the Hot 100. Madonna co-wrote and co-produced the album Like a Prayer with Patrick Leonard, Stephen Bray, and Prince. Music critic JDD Considine from Rolling Stone praised it as close to art as pop music gets. Proof not only that Madonna should be taken seriously as an artist, but that hers is one of the most compelling voices of the 80s. Like a Prayer peaked at #1 on the Billboard 200 and sold 15 million copies worldwide. Other successful singles from the album were Express Yourself and Cherish, which both peaked at #2 in the US, as well as the UK Top 5 Dear Jessie and the US Top 10 Keep It Together. By the end of the 1980s, Madonna was named as the Artist of the Decade by MTV, Billboard, and Musician magazine. Madonna starred as Breathless Mahoney in the film Dick Tracy 1990, with Warren Beatty playing the title role. The film went to #1 on the US box office for 2 weeks, and Madonna received a Saturn Award nomination for Best Actress. To accompany the film, she released the soundtrack album, I'm Breathless, which included songs inspired by the film's 1930s setting. It also featured the US #1 song Vogue and Sooner or Later. While shooting the film, Madonna began a relationship with Evita, which dissolved shortly after the premiere. In April 1990, Madonna began her Blonde Ambition World Tour, which ended in August. Rolling Stone called it an elaborately choreographed, sexually provocative extravaganza, and proclaimed it the best tour of 1990. The tour generated strong negative reaction from religious groups for her performance of Like a Virgin, during which two male dancers caressed her body before she simulated masturbation. In response, Madonna said, "The tour in no way hurts anybody's sentiments. It's for open minds and gets them to see sexuality in a different way, their own and others." The live recording of the tour won Madonna her first Grammy Award in the category of Best Long-Form Music Video. In October 1990, Madonna lent her voice to a public service announcement PSA supporting Rock the Vote's efforts in voter registration. Madonna's first greatest hits compilation album, The Immaculate Collection 1990, was released in November, including two new songs, Justify My Love and Rescue Me. The album was certified diamond by RIAA and sold over 30 million copies worldwide, becoming the best-selling compilation album by a solo artist in history. Justify My Love reached #1 in the US, becoming her 9th #1 on the Hot 100.51. Her then-boyfriend model Tony Ward co-starred in the music video, which featured scenes of sadomasochism, bondage, same-sex kissing, and brief nudity. The video was deemed too sexually explicit for MTV and was banned from the network. Her first documentary film, Truth or Dare, known as In Bed with Madonna outside North America, was released in May 1991. Chronicling her Blonde Ambition World Tour, it became the highest-grossing documentary of all time, surpassed 11 years later by Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine. In 1992, Madonna starred in A League of Their Own as Mae Moore DeBito, a baseball player on an all-women's team. It reached #1 on the box office and became the 10th highest-grossing film of the year in the US. She recorded the film's theme song, This Used to Be My Playground, which became her 10th #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the most by any female artist at the time. In April, Madonna founded her own entertainment company, Maverick, consisting of a record company, Maverick Records, a film production company, Maverick Films, and associated music publishing, television broadcasting, book publishing, and merchandising divisions. The deal was a joint venture with Time Warner and paid Madonna an advance of $60 million. They gave her 20% royalties from the music proceedings, the highest rate in the industry at the time, equal only by Michael Jackson's royalty rate established a year earlier with Sony. Later that year, Madonna co-sponsored the first museum retrospective for her former boyfriend, artist Jean-Michel Basquiat, at the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York. In October 1992, Madonna simultaneously released her 5th studio album, Erotica, and her coffee table book, Sex, consisting of sexually provocative and explicit images, photographed by Stephen Meisel. The book received strong negative reaction from the media and the general public, but sold 1.5 million copies at $50 each in a matter of days. Despite positive reviews, it became her first studio album since her debut album not to score any chart topper in the US. The album entered the Billboard 200 at #2, yielded the Hot 100 top 10 hits Erotica and Deeper and Deeper. At the time, Madonna had been dating rapper Vanilla Ice, and she at one point proposed to him. They broke up following the release of Sex, with Ice claiming that he was included in the book without his consent. Madonna continued her provocative imagery in the 1993 erotic thriller, Body of Evidence, a film which contains scenes of sadomasochism and bondage. Critics poorly received the film. She also starred in the film Dangerous Game, which was released straight to video in North America. The New York Times described the film as angry and painful, and the pain feels real.